All right, everyone, welcome to another video on this channel. And it's been a long time since I made a video for this channel, and there are some reasons for it, and I'll go on to tell you about that. So obviously, number one, life gets in the way. This probably has been the hardest year of my life by far. So a lot of stuff that I've been going through personal, which I think it's pretty much almost over. That's really number one. And number two is, November and December with the business that I have and that I do, it's very slow. So there's really not much to, you know, to do. And so there's also not much to spend on the car. That's the other part. And then reason number three is also like, what else am I going to make on this car? Like we've done a bunch of things to the car so far. We've basically done all the stuff that you need to do to make it quote unquote more reliable. We've done our transmission cooler. We have done our shift kit. We've done a fluid and filter change for the transmission fluid. We've done, new CV axles at this point. I did new tail lights. It's been tuned. And then actually, you guys don't even know this, but I've done some other stuff. So I've actually gotten an E85 kit. So the car is running on flex fuel, which has been a great change. And yeah, in this video, I don't want to make it too long. I just want to kind of go around the car, show you what exactly I've done, what annoys me still, and kind of my overall thoughts on this car now that, I've had it for, like 4 months or something. And I put about, 7,000, 6,000 miles on it so far. So yeah, stay tuned, and I will get into that in a second here. So here she is in all its glory. She's very dirty right now. I mean, yes, the rims look good. Number one thing with this car for me right now is I'm just like annoyed with some things. I think I want to change my rims to something different, definitely an inch bigger. I just do not know if I want black rims, if I want chrome rims again. I have no idea. Now, another thing that really annoys me is, and I've had a quote from Mako on getting this thing repainted. You might not notice anything too crazy looking at it from this side, but once you go over the hood and you see that oxidation, it's really starting to piss me off. It's just annoying. Some of these paint chips on there, it's just not nice. Obviously the fade there, it really sucks, because I've changed, the grills and the logos, and that looks all brand new. But like I said, this side looks good. And then it's stuff like, I noticed that, this trim mold piece is gone, so I have to replace all of that. Simple stuff here, like obviously I fucked this up myself with the buff or the polish, whatever. Rubbers like this, I want to change all that, just because. And then, there's some scratches here and there. The rear kind of rough there with the fade. Still a beautiful color, still a beautiful car. Stuff like this, I can fix it up with a paint stick, which is what I'm going to do. This was here when I bought it anyway, so yeah. And then this is kind of the rough side. You see right there? It's fucked up. Yeah, it's not good. So that's that. Some small things right here, Again, paint stick will take care of that. Even this one seems to be a new one. The door handle there. And then people just smashing their freaking, sorry for my slippers, by the way. People smashing the door into my car really pisses me off so bad. This is obviously just paint chips, but yeah, this side mirror looks totally terrible. But yeah, let's get into what I've done since the last time. So let me open up the hood here and kind of show you. So there we go. So aside from it being definitely cleaned up quite a bit, I'm not satisfied, obviously. But yeah, we have done a transmission cooler right there. Right now it's just done with the zip ties, which actually works really well. Have not had a single issue. And then also we have done the E85 kit, so that's been great. I love driving on E85. I would have never thought it made such a big difference. It was a $300 kit, so all I did was put this piece of extra fuel row on, then the sensor, then the harness goes right into your ECU, and that's it. So what I want to do now is, instead of focusing on buying like a cold air intake or something like that, or a repaint, I don't care. I just want to start getting into the suspension side of things. So I'll go into that in a second. So yeah, when it comes to the suspension on this car, what I want to do is, there's this company called ZZ Performance, and they make, and I'm sure many of you guys that watch this video will know about them. They make a lot of really cool and well-priced parts for this car. So what I'm planning on doing is I want to get for this car a thicker, you know, rear sway bar and front sway bar. I need new rear trailing arms because even ZZP says it. They say that the original ones are very flimsy, made out of sheet metal when they break. Well, mine haven't broken, but they definitely are a little bent, and they're still the original ones. So that is on the books to get changed out soon. It's very cheap anyways. And then aside from that, they have some other cool parts like the lowering springs. I have debated for about, I'm so sorry for this wind. It's kind of annoying and inconvenient here. They have these lowering springs, and I've considered coilovers. However, if I really start thinking about it, I don't think I need coilovers on this car. You know, that's $1,000. This is not a sports car. This is not a track car by any means. So I'm not going to do it. So I'm just going to get new shocks and struts. And then I'm just going to change those springs for the lowering springs that they make. It's $140, and they're going to make another run of them. So as soon as they become available, I'm getting them right away. And then I think that's pretty much it for suspension mods. As far as I can think, I want to get the ZZP coil packs too, because, you know, why not, you know, dress up my engine bay bit by bit. And then after that, it's basically going to come down to the brakes, because I do need new brakes. And the only reason I haven't bought new brakes yet is because I really don't know what way I want to go with it. I know I want new drilled and slotted rotors. They're not very expensive. I know what pads I want. What I do not know is if I want to go with new calipers. I don't even think I need new calipers. Those things don't really break unless they're like really rusted out, which my car has no rust whatsoever. So there's two ways to go about it. I can buy new red calipers, the same ones. They're not going to match the color of the car, which is going to look very odd and very weird. Another thing I've considered is buying for $140 color matching caliper paint. Some of you guys might have seen those ads from the caliper paint company on Facebook and stuff, so that's what I'm considering. Or caliper covers, but the way I want those to be, they want $500 for a set of caliper covers. I'm not going to do that. That's basically all my brakes. And then another option is to get a Cadillac Brembo brakes in the front, and then the stock ones in the rear with GXP rotors. But again, I don't know if this car really needs that. I mean, like I said, I'm not going to drive this thing on the track or on the drag strip. This is just going to be my comfortable cruiser for hopefully many years to come. Like I said, I'm never selling this car anyways, but that's on the books for the near future. And then after that's done, I am planning on, at some point, basically when I get another car, I want to rebuild the engine, and I kind of want to try and doing it myself. Obviously, I'm not going to tow it out or pull it out from the top. I will have to drop the subframe somehow and figure out how I'm going to do this with just a jack stand. I mean, I think it should be possible. I'm not sure, but that's really the goal. And then I want to rebuild the engine, or I can have it rebuilt for $4,000, including installation and removal of the engine, and do it that way. You know, I want a bigger camshaft. I want it to chop. I want, you know, all the goodies there. And basically, I just want an engine block that is essentially like new or as new. And that's what that does. And the same thing for my transmission. I know it was rebuilt, but I want it to be, you know, stage 2, capable of handling some power and not breaking down. And talking about the transmission, actually, 2 days ago, for the first time ever, my car let me down, and it was my own fucking fault, because when I installed my transmission cooler, essentially there's 2 lines that go to, or your original cooler lines for the transmission that were supposed to go in a radiator before, you know, put them or push them into a tube, and I had done this, and the top one was fine, but the bottom one, I routed it through a hole, and I never was able to push it in all the way or put the clamps on tight enough. So how I was so lucky to have this happen only a mile from home, I don't know, God bless me. But yeah, the lower descend line popped out of the tube, and suddenly I'm like, oh God, my trans is going out. It started slipping very hard and barely moving forward. I pulled into a gas station right away. I saw the transmission fluid pouring out, and I smelled it. It was burning. It was terrible. And then I immediately saw the problem, so I relaxed and I was like, okay, I'm gonna fix this tomorrow. Shout out to Jen at Thornton's on Progress Boulevard for using her AAA to get my car home, and I was able to fix it right away yesterday. Pulling off the entire bumper assembly again to get to one little tube, but I did it, and I topped it off with some new fluid, and she's driving better than before, honestly, which is great. So but yeah, those are kind of the plans for the future. And in my opinion, I don't know who the hell is screaming, this is a disc golf course. And you know, it's like I was planning on buying, and I'm still considering it, but planning on buying another car late next year, late 2024. I was looking at Pontiac GTOs, which there's just something about Pontiacs to me that just, I don't know. I think all these cars are super cool. You know, I'm talking about, you know, muscle cars in general, because that's what I like. I don't really care for supercars, sports cars. They're, in my opinion, it's just, I don't know, it's just an old V8, rumbling V8, and just a feeling of driving it to me. And I've driven sports cars, you know, I've driven Porsches, I've driven a Lamborghini, I've driven a Ferrari, I've driven quite a bit of sports cars, and you know, many BMWs, Audis, Mercedes, AMGs. And for some reason, a muscle car, even like my own car, I just enjoy driving it more, putting on my music, having that loud V8 in the back. There's just something about it, and I'm glad, because that makes the hobby of liking cars a little bit cheaper, which is awesome. So, you know, I've been thinking about an SS Camaro, a 2010 to 2015. They're about 18 to 25,000 with low miles. They are a great platform for having a supercharger on it, because I noticed one thing about the Impala is, like, it's fast, or it's quick, but it's not fast. And I want something for the weekend that I can take to the track, and with a manual, because I grew up driving manuals in Holland. And you know, something that's going to give me more of a competitive, or, you know, sporty driving experience. So that's the plan. And like I said, I've been looking at Pontiac GTOs. Problem is, they're all beat to hell. You know, try finding a 6.0 with less than 150,000 or 180,000 miles. It's almost impossible, right? Unless you want to pay 30 grand for a car from 2005, right? Which, that's not what I would want to do. And so I've been looking at that. I looked at Trans Ams too, but man, they're expensive for an 02. And yes, there are some other cool cars out there that would fit the bill and would do what I wanted to do. I don't want a Mustang. Everyone's got a Mustang. I've never really liked the Mustang. I've driven many of them, and they are really good. The new one with the manual and the ref matching, amazing car, but you know, it still doesn't drive like a new SS Camaro, or a Vet. And a Challenger, I don't know, look at me. I'm so white. Look at me. So white. I'm not gonna drive a Challenger because, I don't know, first of all, they just don't do it for me anymore. A Hellcat or something, it just doesn't really do it for me. But I do like the old SRT8. So that's something that I have to figure out myself. And I'm trying to get these cars and collect them as soon as I can. This is the only thing that brings me joy in life. Cars, guitars, watches, and some sports. Basically, not even women anymore at this point. So I want to buy all these up before, you know, we get a government that says, oh, you know, you're going to go to jail for driving a V8, yada, 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 yada. Or we're going to ban all this stuff, because that's already happening. So I want to buy them right now and do what I got to do. And yeah, that's essentially the goal that I have for it. So yeah. So sorry, that dude just thought I was broken down or something because my hood's open. Not the case. So yeah, that's really you know, what kind of depresses me sometimes is the government, or all these people trying to ban all these amazing cars. And I'm like, why? You know, if you really think about it, you know, I'm running on E85 fuel, which means that it's a very clean type of fuel. You know, it's literally extracted from corn, so it emits way less, you know, toxins into the air than regular gas does. Plus, my car drives way better on it. Yeah, my miles per gallon are absolute crap. You know, we're getting like 12.8 miles per gallon on a good day. But I don't care, because I never bought this car going into it thinking, oh, I want a, you know, economy car that's good on gas. No, not at all. I knew this. I absolutely knew this. And it's cheap too, 85. So yeah, but it still kind of, you know, blows that they're doing this. You know, this is the last year pretty much of the Challenger and Charger, pretty much the last year of the Camaro. The Mustang is still going, the Corvette is still going, but why are they cutting all these other Chevy cars out and these Dodges? I don't know. It just seems like a cash grab to me at the end of the day with EVs, and then somehow they're still going to keep the V8 alive and stuff. Or, you know, I don't know why they wouldn't just make a hybrid. You know, wouldn't that make sense? Just have a hybrid. Because, for example, my daddy drives a Volvo V60, like some diesel hybrid, pretty cool car. It's got like 300 horsepower, 5-cylinder diesel, and it's actually the only diesel that has a electric battery there to drive fully electric. that car solved so many problems that people face day to day. You know, like, it's not good to drive your car for 5 minutes when it's not even properly warmed up, turn it off, and that's what you do every day. So if you go to the grocery store in town in Holland, it's all super close by, you just run electric, and there you go. You don't even have to start the engine. So if they were able to do something like that, I think that would fix a lot of issues for these kind of cars. But anyways, definitely planning on getting another car. Absolutely planning on keeping this car forever, and, you know, continuing to drive it and restore it to its former action or former glory. And yeah, I'm just like, if I get this car all fixed up over time the way I want it, with an engine rebuild and trans rebuild, I should basically have a brand new car. Brand new engine, brand new trans, brand new suspension, brand new brakes, brand new paint job. This car is going to be golden. So with that being said, I would really love for all of you guys to give me some suggestions on what kind of videos you guys would like to see, whether it's stuff that has to do with this car, whether you want me to go and drive other cars and review them. Let me know. I need some suggestions, because I like making these videos. I like having this channel, and I would like to bring out more content more regularly, even when it has nothing to do with my own car. So with that being said, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.